Right, so this is 5 mindset tips for forever weight loss. I speak to so many ladies who, they can follow a nutrition program, they can come to an exercise class and have a structured exercise plan, but it's the mindset that can really hold them back, or dipping in and out of, a positive mindset and falling off. So hopefully these 5 tips will help you to feel in control and get a positive mindset. So number 1 is take one day at a time. So try to think of every day as a separate entity, even every meal as a separate entity. I find that ladies tell me if they go for like one meal that's off plan, or isn't as good as it should be, that it completely throws them off the wagon. They feel really guilty, and that can trigger negative emotions, and it can lead to not just one meal off but one day, which then leads to a whole week and a whole month of being off track. So, just try and think of every meal as a separate one. Every time you hit a good meal, an exercise session, celebrate that, and try not to beat yourself up if you do have one, treat, because you're only human and that's just totally normal. One lady gave me a good analogy. If you were driving along the motorway and one of your tyres popped, you wouldn't pop all the rest of them. You wouldn't pop all 4 just because one had popped. So try and think of it like that. Just if you've had one bad meal doesn't mean your week's written off. Number 2, celebrate your wins. With every good meal, every exercise session, every positive step you take towards your goal, actively celebrate it and give yourself a pat on the back. As women, we're so easy to criticise ourselves and look at all the things we haven't done instead of celebrating what we have done. And actually our brains work like that. They're designed to work like that to protect us. So, it's like Teflon. All the negative stuff sticks there, but we have to actively enforce the positive stuff. So really look at what you've done every day. At the end of every day, look at what's been good and celebrate all of the good stuff. Number 3 is acceptance and where you're putting your focus. Life will always throw things at you. There'll be some times when you're super in the zone, you feel in control, you feel on it, and then something will come and throw you off. The kids will change their activities, so you become taxi every day. You'll get busier at work, your partner's shifts will change. You'll go through a tough time emotionally, and things like that in life will always happen. So it's about accepting that there will be ebbs and flows that happen, and sometimes it won't be as in your control as you want it to be. But try and learn to accept that and go with it, and so that sometimes you will be in the zone and sometimes you won't be as focused, but it doesn't mean you're failing. It just means that you need to put your focus elsewhere for a little while. Number 4, make time without guilt. As women, we often put ourselves to the bottom of the list. We look after everyone else first, and making that time for ourselves, whether it's to go to an exercise class, to prepare food, to mentally take that space to do something for yourself, especially if it's going to impact those around you, your partner, your children. We can often feel guilty, and it's easier not to do something, especially if it's to work towards your health and fitness goals. So my advice is to take a step back and think about the impacts that's not only going to have on you but those around you. So if taking that time out for an hour, or just taking that time to prepare meals or sit down and write a shopping list is going to help you, then it's going to help everyone around you as well. So don't feel guilty. Right, number 5, supercharge your goal. So when you set yourself a goal, just sit down and really think about why you want to achieve that goal. So it sounds really simple, but if you can attach an emotion to that goal, it will supercharge your brain into wanting to get towards it. So for example, you may want to hit a size 12. Sit down, instead of just saying I want to get to a size 12, why do you want to get there? How will you feel when you get to a size 12? What will your life look like when you get to a size 12? Will you feel more confident in work? Will you feel more sexy to your partner? Will you be able to go into shops and feel great when you fit in clothes that you want to wear? How is it going to make you feel? Really think about that emotion, and that will really drive you towards getting to your goal. Especially on days when it's tougher or life's getting in the way, it will just give you that push towards it.